And I have spoken to so many sellers, and I've developed my own script that I give to clients. And there's this very similar questions, and the questions change depending on the business model, obviously, and depending on so many things between the business. But you can have a core list of questions that you always ask to ensure that you're like, all right, I'm happy with those answers before you move forward. And so there's some really cool things to understand is that, and this is what I find as well, is people do get into the analysis by paralysis. It's too much work, and realize like they just get into freak out zone and they get stuck in their head. Like Tony Robbins says, if you're stuck in your head, you're dead. So what do you see, what does normally a good buyer look at first when they're coming to do their due diligence? Like if they're going to go away and look at a business, I know for myself and what I do when I teach, what I go away and grab, I want this data, this information before I jump on the phone with the seller. What do you see is like the best sort of purchases move towards and gravitate towards in their due diligence process first?
Yeah. So, obviously the first is going to be profitability. Is the business profitable, and is it reasonably, predictably profitable in the future? So, we only sell profitable businesses at Empire Flippers, and I think that that's probably a good place to start. Anyone who's looking at unprofitable businesses, there are value in unprofitable businesses. There are plenty of unicorns out there in Silicon Valley, and there are plenty of smaller businesses that have value to strategic buyers or other types of buyers that are unprofitable. But for the vast majority, especially new people, please stay out of the unprofitable businesses. It's just not worth it, and you really need to be more of an expert to go there. The second part of that would be predictable profits. And what I mean by that is do they have a process, a consistent process for getting in new sales, whatever that might be? For an affiliate business, does the traffic come in automatically? Do they rank fairly well in Google? Do they have some sort of paid traffic scheme? The same kind of thing for a physical product business. Do they have employees or contractors that work on the business that kind of minimize the amount of time that you as the owner will have to work? You might have to still put in 5 or 10 hours a week, but you want to know that this machine is predictably going to run without the old owner and going to make that sort of same profit. If it's seasonal, can you predict that the seasons are going to be in regular cycles? Or is it more of a fad and it's just kind of fading out? That's the kind of thing you'd have to worry about in terms of profitability. And so things like this, I think, are really important to look at as a first-time buyer to make sure you're not getting a lemon.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that if anybody's watched my content, listened to my content, wherever it is, I'm always speaking about, and this is why I push a lot of people to different places, like different brokers, like Empire Flippers, especially. Most of my clients come to you guys, right, and buy businesses from Empire Flippers. There's one guy, and I want to talk about one of the purchases that one of the guys made soon, because I want to ask you if you're seeing that type of deal regularly, and if it's, I think it's a pretty cool process for buyers and sellers for that sort of deal that we'll talk about. But I noticed you mention when you're first getting into this, look at businesses that are profitable and buy profitable businesses, rather than there's so many marketplaces out there that do sell websites. They don't sell businesses, right?